Lifecoach might just solidify the game here. What do you do if you're Lifecoach? What do you do if you're Lifecoach? I think you Dark Bomb and either heal with a heal bot or play the Sludge Belcher. Depending on what you feel like might happen, the Sludge Belcher is likely to get sapped. And if you play the heal bot, you're more likely to die to a Blade Flurry combo. You actually can't die to a Blade Flurry combo. I think I would play the heal bot basically to... Actually, would you be able to die if you played the Belcher? 15 pest sap on 6 mana. No, there's no way. I think either play is fine. Perhaps the Belcher is the better play because for it to die... oh wow. Tapping first means neither of those are being done. Okay. Is he dead? He's not, it's very close. Oh man, if he actually just had one more charge on the weapon, he would have lethal, but I don't think that's lethal. Just not enough mana to do it all. I think the play here is just to make a big-ass weapon and hit face with it. So the turn after, you could Blade Flurry and Eviscerate. Yep. Why is that being backstabbed? Just because, I guess. Alright, just because. I guess that makes sense if there's a faceless. Alright. The Lifecoach's play here is to heal, and he needs to do that right now. If he plays the heal bot, he's out of range of what's in Dog's hand right now, but doesn't put him fully out of range. There are cards that Dog could draw that would not be good enough. But I mean, if you don't heal, you basically kill yourself against the Blade Flurry, so you're basically working with 4 mana right now. So how do you spend 4 mana? So I think you Drake first, or do you Mountain? You Mountain. He didn't deal with the first Mountain very well. So you Mountain Giant, you Molten Giant, and then you heal. Then you do some face damage. Okay, looks like he's going with the Drake. What? Okay. I guess he's saving the Molten to try to activate a taunt on a later turn. Interesting. Alright, well with the Azure Drake, you can Blade Flurry for 7. And then you can Eviscerate for 6. That's not good enough. Oh my god. That would have done it had it been drawn last turn. But you have to Blade Flurry here. I think you Shiv Blade Flurry. To face.
Mistakes were made.
Sorry.
Yeah, that doesn't seem very good. Just lose your Drake. Now with Argus drawn, you can do Molten, Healbot, Argus trade. That's like super solid. If Dog couldn't kill you last turn, there's no way he can kill you this turn. I mean, if you didn't play the Molten Giant last turn, you basically are saving it for precisely this situation. I don't see any other play.
I wonder. Almost out of time. I see.
Okay. Alright, well this shuts out a lot of spells, so I guess this solidifies him another turn anyway. I guess he could taunt bigger things next turn. Alright. Guess I need to play Lothid more. See the Lothid play mostly to secure the rogue from dying, basically. As like an Argus Hellfire would be enough. Lifecoach does not have lethal as it stands. I don't think he can draw into anything that would give him lethal.
I wonder.
Unless he's running an Arcane Golem. I very much doubt. Okay. How do we deal with this board?
So many loss of
Kind of want to protect taunts as much as you can. Goes to that from Sludge Belcher. Yeah. I guess you could Sylvanas. Alright. Goes for the Sylvanas. Dog here has to probably use up cards to stay alive. Oh wow, sap. You can actually deal with all of the taunts. You're still in this as the rogue. You can eviscerate the Sylvanas, then you can play the SI and then sap the giant, and you have to activate taunt again on it. But that leaves you in a pretty decent spot because you have Tinker, Blade Flurry, and a creature developed on the board. Yeah, sapping a Molten Giant's not really what you want to do every day, but seems like a pretty good time this one. Like he wants to sap Sylvanas. I don't really like this play as much. Very good reason why.
I have no time for games.
I think I like the taunted Sylvanas. I think I like the trade. Yep. Preparation. Oh man. You have to do it. Yeah, you have to do this. Oh, he passed? Okay. Well, what could he possibly draw then? I just don't understand. I guess if you do that, you lose anyway. But what could he be saving it for? I don't know. I don't see how the rogue wins this match. Alright. Well, if you're life coach, this looks pretty easy. You can, I guess, tap for what might be your second Hellfire. Not all the decks run 2 Hellfires, and I think very few of them run 2 big games. Oh my god. Okay. Well, apparently that was a thing. The Ragnaros finish is over regardless. Alright, Life Coach takes the first game. Pretty decisive win with Warlock. Some plays I wouldn't have made, but I can't disagree with them. So we have to give Life Coach playing that game pretty well there. Dog, however, is in a little bit of a bind with his Rogue down, with his Mage band. He's a Hunter or Druid here. I think the Face Hunter does pretty well against Warlock. It's just that you don't really see Handlock very frequently on ladder. And I don't play either deck, so I'm not too sure. But generally, the Hunter is favored against the Warlock. It's just, with so many taunts, with so many heals these days, it's hard to really know. I don't think it's too one-sided. As far as the Druid, if it is the double combo Druid, always has a chance. If it is the type of Druid with slow creatures and big taunts and that kind of stuff, it's pretty difficult to win, especially because we know that there are 2 big game Hunters in Life Coach deck. We'll have to see what deck he ends up going with. I think I'd just try Hunter though. You always have to keep in mind that after this you'd be facing either Druid or Paladin. And I don't know, Hunter's a good enough catch-all that probably not too worried about anything. Alright, so we're getting into the second game here. It is, in fact, going to be the Hunter. Our little bro Rexar. I hate that guy. Makes me want to play Arena forever. Yeah. Okay. Oh. Hunter's Mark, Juggler, Kill Command, Bow. This could basically be anything. Another Juggler and a Web Spinner. Still could basically be anything. You know some face Hunters run Hunter's Mark. Some mid-range ones as well. But I think it's most likely mid-range. Alright, so the coin suggests that he wants to push with a Knife Juggler. Doing a turn 1 Knife Juggler, turn 2 Knife Juggler, turn 3 Mad Scientist, the Web Spinner. There's a lot of free damage. I think here you want a Dark Bomb. You don't really want to risk playing your Sun Fury Protector and having it die to something like Hunter's Mark Juggle, which is exactly what it was going to die to. Alright. Well, the freeze trap certainly shows that this is, in fact, a mid-range Hunter. I don't really know how this performs against the Handlock. I suspect fairly well. I think it's pretty close to the 50s, though. So right now, with the coin down, with Life Coach having some answers, nah, I still can't really put Life Coach ahead. Well, he's had answers while he still has answers right now. That hand kind of sucks. Usually hand lock, what you want to do is you want to be at a spot where on turn 4 you play something really big that your opponent can't deal with and doesn't have much of a board to push for much damage. Right now, none of those things are coming true for Lifecoach. So Lifecoach is not really where you want to be playing a Warlock. Like here, he's got 2 Sun Fury Protectors. You kind of want to play Sun Fury Protector, but if you do that, your hopes of playing the Mountain Giant are very low. If you tap the Mountain Giant is on 6 mana, you hope to draw like a board clear. Oh my god. That must actually be the worst card in the deck. Okay. So Dog goes for some board presence. He could have pushed for more damage. And he would have been, I think, okay too as well, because he's still quite above the Molten Giant range. Lifecoach still tapping. He really needs a board clear right now. Yeah, those taunt activators are basically complete fodder right now. Juggler hits. You mad scientist. Juggler hit. You mad scientist. Very nice. 17 life is excellent. It's still in a spot where Lifecoach will not be able to aggressively play Molten Giants. Though next turn he might have the opportunity, but unfortunately for him, he doesn't have any in hand. I don't even know what to do here, man.
I wonder.
Like, you play a Mountain Giant, and what? Get that a Hunter's Mark and like a Juggle, probably. Basically accomplish nothing. You want to just play something that won't die. So I think that is going to be Loatheb. Though Loatheb might just die to the board. Damn. Yeah, you go with the Giant. Go with the Giant, you don't do anything. Your opponent's probably going to Hunter's Mark it. But you gotta take the chance that next turn you can Ancient Watcher and do something with it. Oh, I forgot, there's the trap up from the Mad Scientist, and we actually know that it's a freezing because the freezing is currently not playable. Alright, looks like Dog is going for the damage push here. 4 life for Lifecoach. Holy cow, dude. And there's the Hellfire, what a troll. Alright, well, the best play is what? Taunt up, right? Fine. I mean, you have to do this, but... Alright, oh god. That's pretty disgusting. Okay. Oh, Hunters are pretty good, apparently. How about that? Dog takes the game, evens it up, 1-1. Lifecoach has to now fall back on one of his remaining decks. With the Mage Band, with the Warlock down, he's got to choose from Druid or Paladin. I don't think I would go with Paladin, as we know this is the mid-range Hunter. I think the mid-range Hunter does a pretty good job at destroying Paladin. So, I guess it's Druid? I don't know. I don't know. I think both of these are pretty bad. It really depends on what kind of deck is going to be here. I mean, if it's the Taunt Heavy Druid, I think that's a pretty good matchup. But other than that, I'm not too optimistic. I think this Hunter deck is at least 60% against any Paladin. But I kind of fear that Druid is in the same boat. It's still probably around there. A little bit of a climb for Lifecoach, but the winner of this match is going to be the huge favorite. that life coach has the disadvantage going into it. After this hunter deck, Dog only has his own druid deck to fall back on, so he does drop this game, which most likely he will not, but if he does, he'd have to beat a mirror and another match, so pretty bad spot, but he's not in it yet. Looks like they facing some kind of issue here. We haven't jumped into the game quite yet. I think if I was life coach here, I'd probably just try it with Paladin, but this is of course not knowing exactly what decks he has. Paladin seems to stay in the game for quite some time and nullifies a lot of the freeze traps, which you know Dog is running. Okay. Oh, there's the Paladin. There's the freeze traps. It's a pretty nice hand, but you don't really want to keep freeze traps. You want to get them through the Mad Scientist. Oh! Oh, that was a post-mulligan hand. Oh, that hand is terrible! Okay. Alright, well that gives Life Coach some hope here. Looks like he's gonna go for the coin on the Knife Juggler. It does give him the option to try to Owl next turn if he really wants. But what was that draw? I didn't catch it. Was that another web spinner? Yes, it was. Alright. Interesting. Well, there's no real way to protect this Knife Juggler. So I think you just silence the annoying Spider Bro and probably go face. I mean, if you get unleashed here, do you really care? No, I don't think so. So yeah, I think you Owl and face. Alright. Mad Scientist draws very nice. You probably want to play a web spinner before the chicken. Chicken's basically going to do nothing on that board, and the web spinner might give you something that is hopefully better than a chicken, but is sometimes, you guys might be surprised, another chicken. The double chicken dream does seem to be a reality from time to time. Alright, well, you don't have another silence for that Mad Scientist. It's kind of annoying, but well, actually, it might not. It might not get anything from the deck. I know some variations of the mid-range hunter run a snake trap, so it might be that. But if it's just the double freeze, which I think is more standard, it's going to fish up absolutely nothing, and that will give Life Coach so much information. It's just I don't know that if he's going to be willing to make that play, but I think it's a reasonable play to make. I think you do trade. I can't really see from this perspective if it fetched a secret, but it seems like it did. It seems like there probably is a snake trap in there. Yeah. I don't imagine it would be any other trap either. Okay. So 2 traps, huh?
I wonder.
I guess you try to line up a Consecrate, huh? Hmm. Maybe you attack face to see what it is. And then you develop a true silver. The thing is probably gonna get frozen. You could also just attack face and just play that creature a second time. But yeah, both plays start with attacking face, so that does seem the right line of play. It's just here, do you true silver or do you shielded mini bot? I think I like true silver. Like hunters usually don't run any ways to deal with weapons, but they run plenty of ways to deal with small creatures. And big creatures as it comes to the mid game. Okay. I don't like that play as much. God. Comes the chicken, here comes the freeze trap. Yep. Well, the Hunter deck is out of steam just about, but he's got a high main behind and with some nice draws afterwards, it's not really going to make any difference. Oh, that sucks, dude. That sucks so much. I guess here you Sludge Belch. Yeah. You don't want to keep taking that damage, especially when a Hunter has nothing behind. Here you'd usually expect to get kill commanded. But it is going to be a high main. You can safely bet that your creatures are not going to be attacked because your opponent knows that you have a snake trap up, so there's no real point to play the bow there. I do like that line of play. But here, what do you do? I think you attack the 1-2 with the Sludge Belcher and then you Equality Consecrate. Yeah. Pretty sure that's the best possible play.
Let me think.
The only alternative that I see is to Peacekeep the high main and go face with the Belcher. But that seems really greedy considering there's only one card in the Hunter's hand. You're really not going to get a better Equality Consecrate than this one this turn.
I must move quickly. Follow the rule.
Okay.
Reporting for duty.
Yeah, and now that trap's going to trigger. Now it's going to give him an extra bow charge. Well, that's a pretty unfortunate draw. Oh god. Okay, well you can clear out the full Sludge Belcher here. That's pretty important. Alright, so next turn you want a Tyrion. So this turn you probably want to Dude Quartermaster. If you true silver, you have to hit face with it. If you didn't clear the board last turn, it's not much sense to clear it this turn. Is there any play better than Dude Quartermaster? Not that I see.
Reporting for duty. To arms, men.
Okay. Dude Quartermaster face, that's the game, guys. The kill command, but doesn't really have a great target. Web spinner into a web spinner into a raptor. You really have to Belcher this turn. Get an activation on your snake trap the following turn. You really don't want to attack with your weapon. Apparently you do. Now Lifecoach is in a really good spot here. So maybe not. How can you clear here? No, you can't. Can't get rid of that stupid ass high main. Can't kill it.
I wonder.
I think the closest you can come is to attack the Sludge Belcher with your 3/3, then Consecrate. Then 2/5 into 1/2, and then you True Silver down one of the hyenas. Or you True Silver face. I think I like face actually, because you entice the trade. I like the face. Okay. Instead we go for a super defensive play. I don't hate it. Still very difficult for Dog to do anything because he's so short on cards, and Lifecoach has such strong ones with Tyrion and Shredder. Wow. Now Tyrion is gonna get silenced here, but it really doesn't matter.
Put your faith in the light.
It really doesn't matter at all. Wow, Hyman is a really strong draw there. But Lifecoach has the answer with a Peacekeeper again. 2 Peacekeepers for 2 Hymanes. Now, even though you are peacekeeping that, you're not really out of this completely, are you? You're gonna go face in Dr. Boom. You have to win quickly because you don't have any more healing. There's 5 damage on board. There's no card that does 6 damage except Leroy. Okay.
Well played. Well played. Well fought.
Nope. That's game, boys. Lifecoach takes it with Paladin. Pretty good match. Some unexpected plays again from Lifecoach, but I have to say that I disagreed with some of them, though. If you win, that's basically the majority of it. I mean, took a game that really was not favored for him. It was largely a matter of Dog having a terrible opening hand with 2 freeze traps, but hey man, I know it's hard to believe, but sometimes hunters do not get the god draw. Crazy, crazy stuff. Lifecoach is up a game 2-1 in this best of 5. Dog's got to rely on his final deck, and it is Druid. Now, Druid is alright against Paladins, just that it's sometimes hard to seal the deal. Again, if you're playing the combo-ish Druid, it's hard to get through those taunts. It's hard to get through the taunts after the heals, so it gets a little bit messy. But, I mean, you have the silences for some, so often it works out in your favor. It's a pretty close match. I don't know. I'd probably give it to the Paladin again, but very, very, very slightly. I am surprised to see a lot of Druid decks were not the double combos. I do think Kalenda, for instance, was running the double Savage Roar, one Force of Nature. In tournament formats, it seems the double combo Druid is just so popular. It's consistent enough, and it just takes games that it has no business taking. That's really the highlight of most tournament decks. All right, and we're getting into game 4 here. Of course, it's the Druid against the Paladin.
I will fight with honor.
See if we can get information from this opening Druid hand. We know Lifecoach's Paladin deck is very standard. Mech Warper. Okay, so this is the Mech Druid. It's popped up some recent highlights on ladder. I do know that I've faced against it a few times with Paladin. In fact, have had quite a bit of luck. It is a deck that basically tries to gain some board presence with the mechs, as they are efficient, they're strong, and sometimes you can do some crazy combos. So because you often have some board presence, the Savage Roar is pretty good. It runs 2 of those and 1 of the Force of Natures. So that's what I expect to see from this. Not too much variation, not too much room for creativity in this type of deck. And man, 2 innervates. Guess you could innervate a keeper. Get that tempo. But no. Acolyte of Pain, that is a little bit of flavor. I like it. Not bad. One of those cards that's pretty good in Arena most of the time. It's pretty well often constructed some of the time, but not always. So the Druid deck played by Dog, it's got a few big threats. Usually these are the big threats that get either big gamed or peacekeeped. He's got, he probably has the Snades, the Doctor Boom, the 1 piloted Sky Golem we already see in his hand, and just like every other Druid deck, it's probably running the double Ancient of Lore. So what do we do here? That's a little bit of a big card.
I wonder.
And equality would be pretty decent, huh? Nowhere to be seen this game, though. I mean, it would seem like the best play is to silence and just do some face damage, but if you do that, you get wrecked by swipe. Holy cow. Alright, swipe it is. I think in some circumstances you would choose to sacrifice one of your dudes, but because we saw the Mech Warper, we know that the Mech Druid does not run the Mind Control tech. Mostly the ramp, the taunty Druid that does, and against that I would not be surprised to see one of the dudes fall. So here you really just want to go for some face damage. Goes with the swipe. I like the aggression. I'm a bit surprised to see the piloted Sky Golem in the hand of Lifecoach though. Two silences. It seems quite fair to just do some face damage here.
Follow the rule.
Oh man. That is such a brutal card. You want to talk about the most powerful 4-drops in the game. People don't even talk about Water Elemental, they just put it as a given. That card is bonkers. And it's especially hard for Druid to deal with. It just nullifies our hero power so badly. Do we have lethal here? I think you're 2 mana short of lethal. If you silence the Peacekeep effect away on Savage Roar, that's 12. I mean, it'd work if the Paladin didn't have a heal. Problem is, we know Lifecoach has a heal. We can see it. That shiny little antique heal bot. So what can you do? What can you do? Ooh, wait, what? Why would you do that first? Think he's gonna try to kill the Shredder maybe? Yeah. Looks like a Shredder kill. Silence the Shredder. Attack. Doesn't trade. Wow. I thought he would sacrifice off the 1/1 so he'd have a bigger body to attack with the following turn. I mean, just imagine that Water Elemental was like a Twilight Drake, like a 4/1. RNG can really play the biggest factor in many matches in this game. This is a pretty good example.
I wonder.
Alright, well, you're not quite on turn 9. You don't have to heal this turn. But you should do something. And that something should include not killing the piloted Sky Golem unless you want to silence it. So if you silence it, what do you do? I guess you can Owl and Belcher. Owl, Belcher, Freeze Face. I like it. Problem is you take a lot of damage. Nope. Okay. Have to respect that play. Going down to 8 life can be a pretty dumb thing. He's probably thinking about silencing the Belcher and the fact that he can't do that. Same time as playing the Azure Drake. Plays the Azure Drake, there's not really much that he could do. Might even be thinking of pinging off the big game hunter with the keeper as well. I think I like the draw. You can't win with that hand, you have to draw something. Wow, that's something. Okay. Here you want to sacrifice your dude, I guess. But again, imagine if you had a 4-drop this turn. It would have been quite significant. God. Now, which would you rather have? The Water Elemental or the 2/4 that does nothing? Oh man. Pretty big swings from these piloted Sky Golems. The Shredders have some variance, but I feel like the piloted Sky Golems have some significant variance. Much more so. Lifecoach is in great shape here. He is going into turn 9, so he's going to want to clear this board as much as he possibly can, but I mean, the truth is that he can clear most of this board. So I think the 4/2 into the 4/4 is a no-brainer. We see that. I like the Water Elemental there, but I think I think I'd like to see a trade with the Sludge Belcher.
Reporting for duty.
Wow.
I must move quickly.
We have to trade if you make this play. Oh, really? Okay. Alright, guys, he's dead to Savage Roar. Nope. I really don't understand that at all. Why did that happen?
I must safeguard.
He could have put himself in a position not to lose the Savage Roar. Oh, he doesn't lose the Savage Roar because the hero's frozen. Okay. Yeah, he'd be 2 off lethal. Seems a bit risky, but alright. Dr. Boom strikes again.
Where shall I strike?
Well, dog isn't dead here, but... Okay. I think he can die. Right? If that hits for 4... No. Well, he'd be 1 off lethal. With the best possible bomb result. Oh, well, that's not it. Okay, now he can really die to some combo action.
Let me.
Following the same line of play as last turn, he'd still be 2 life ahead of lethal if he just went all out face because of the freeze effect. Of course, regarding that, he would anti-healbot. Because normally the combo does 14 damage, and the healbot would nullify the 4 plus the 4 extra from the Savage Roar buffing the 2 creatures in play. So he'd essentially be at 14, but because he can freeze the hero of the Warlock, that prevents that 2 extra damage from the Savage Roar hero. So it makes that 14 damage combo a 12 damage combo. And that's really the decisive factor here. Really a matter of Water Elemental kicking some serious Druid ass. Tries to save the last weapon hit. Alright, fine, I guess. The Wrath. Nope. No chance. Is there a chance? Don't see it.
Well played.
No, I don't see it.
Well played.
Yeah. That's it. Lifecoach takes the set. 3-1. Paladin takes 2 games. I think that's the first Paladin dominance we've seen in the tournament so far. I hope it continues. It's certainly one of the decks that's much more enjoyable to watch than some of the more aggressive matchups. And, well, I hope Lifecoach does pretty well. Tomorrow we'll see a little bit more of Lifecoach. He'll be facing off of the winner in the round 1 F group, which was Green Sheep versus Hosty. The winner of that ended up being Hosty. So, tomorrow we're going to see some Lifecoach versus Hosty action. How about that, guys? That should be a lot of fun. In the meantime, though, we're going to prepare for our next game. Our next game is going to be the match between Caldi and Blackout. And that will be about maybe 7 minutes time while the players set up, while we set up for them, while we get everything running. And we'll see how that goes down then. In the meantime, I just want to let you guys know, if you missed any of the games, we have been broadcasting for about 3 hours now. If you missed any of the games, there will be a rebroadcast right after the live broadcast ends on this same channel. And if you can't stay for that, eventually all the games would be uploaded on the official YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/chaoscontingency. That's KAOS, and contingency has the correct spelling. And once again, thanks to Hitbox for sponsoring the tournament. We'll be back shortly.